my name is Jordan and I want to be your witchy librarian. I am starting this little Booktube WitchTube channel, and I thought what better way to kick it off than with the Booktube Newbie tag. So here we go. Why did I start this channel? I think my reasons are going to be pretty similar to a lot of other booktubers in the sense that I wanted to find a community of people to talk about all things bookish, and just connect with people who have similar interests to mine. I also think that YouTube and video editing is a really nice creative outlet. I used to have a YouTube channel back in college, and I really enjoyed the video editing, and I kind of want to get back into that and really hone my craft in that sense. And the other big reason that I started this channel is going to go into question 2, which is, what is something unique that you can bring to Booktube? This past October, I got into my spirituality a bit, and it's been a really cool journey, but I haven't really found much of a witchy community that I'm looking for. And books will always have my heart. So I was searching on YouTube, and I was looking for witchy booktubers. I was hoping to find reading vlogs from a witch. And I found, there are witch tubers and there are booktubers who recommend witchy books, but nothing was really combining the two in the way that I was looking for. And I don't really know if I can do that, but I want to try. I want to be a witchy booktuber. So I think that is a really unique thing that I hope to bring to Booktube. The other thing is I lead a very bookish obsessed life. I have always been a reader. I am well versed in publishing trends and industry news, bookish drama. I was a bookseller at an indie bookstore, and now I work in a library and I'm getting my master's in library and information science. So I feel like I can bring my own little sliver of knowledge in the bookish world to Booktube, along with meshing it with my newly found spiritual interests. What am I most excited about for this new channel is connecting with people, finding people who share these interests with me, hopefully these spiritual witchy interests along with my bookish interests, or more witchy people and more bookish people. That's something I'm really looking forward to. The other thing is that I know that these first 2 videos are probably going to be on the clunkier, more awkward side. So I look forward to, my 100th video when I've really gotten comfortable talking to a camera and I've gotten better with my editing skills. So I look forward to seeing what that will look like. Why do I love reading? That is a big question. I guess my biggest thing is I enjoy temporarily being put in other people's shoes and learning their perspectives. I like exploring and experiencing dark and dangerous stories from the safety and comfort of my own home. I also really like learning. I enjoy reading nonfictions and historical fictions, and any kind of book that has a lot of research that goes into it, and just learning about other people's lives. There is so much that I have learned through books, and that's not going to change. What book or series got me into reading? I would probably have to ask my mom about this. I know around 1st grade, I was really into the Junie B. Jones series, so maybe that. I do know in 4th grade, specifically 4th grade, I got really into Animorphs. That maybe was a big kickoff. I loved Animorphs. So yeah, maybe Animorphs. What challenges do I think will be the hardest when it comes to Booktube? Like I mentioned earlier, the clunkiness that might come through the camera, the awkwardness that I hope is not coming through. But I think just like the growing pains, just the getting comfortable in front of the camera, the getting comfortable talking to a camera, and the time and patience it probably takes to find that community. It's also a little bit weird because I'm talking to the camera, but I don't know exactly who I'm talking to yet. The patience it will take to find a little pocket community might be a little challenging. When did I start reading? That is another question I would have to ask my mom. I'm not really sure. I know when I was a baby, I liked to read Goodnight Moon a lot, and it got to the point that I had it memorized, and so I would look like I was reading. My mom is also a very big reader, so she would read a lot, and I would read next to her. She also never said no to buying me a book. She would always say, she could be into drugs, but she's into books, so I'll take it. At one point in my life, my mom worked at a mall that had a Barnes & Noble, and during the summer, she would sometimes take me to work with her, and she would give me $20 for lunch, and I would spend it on a snack. And then the rest of it, I would go to Barnes & Noble and I would always buy a book. That was also when a YA paperback was like $10 to $12. So times have changed. I had a Kindle when I was in high school, and if I wanted a book, I would say like, Mom, can you get me this book? And she'd be like, if you do the dishes, which was already my chore anyway. And then she would get me the book. So she never said no to me getting a book. So I think I've been a lifelong reader. Where do I read? This is probably going to be a boring answer. I mostly read in my bed at home. I listen to audiobooks sometimes on the way to work, but lately I've been more into podcasts. I wish I was the kind of person that could read anytime, any place, but I need quietness and comfort. The fun question, what kind of books do I like to read? My reading goes through phases every few years, as I'm sure a lot of people does. But overall, I read a lot of fantasy, memoirs, historical fiction, thrillers, and horror. I'm not a big romance reader. I've been getting into some romantasy, and I've gotten into some dark romance or dark fantasy romance. I'm not really a contemporary romance reader, though. I do read adult and YA, and I've read some middle grade, although over the past year, maybe 2 years, I'd probably say I've mostly read adult, but I do still dabble in the YA. I haven't read a middle grade in a while. All right, that is the end of the questions. I'm really excited to jump into Booktube here. I also have a Bookstagram and a Book Talk, and I look forward to talking about all things witchy and bookish. Later this week, I'll be posting a video of book recommendations for the Leo season. Let me know what your journey on YouTube has been like, and let me know what you're reading now.